Right, we are live. Hey guys, how's it going? Welcome back to the Kiwi Lads channel. We are back for some more of the Singapore Sevens. This one, a quarterfinal matchup between Argentina and Australia. Looking through at the starting lineup for Los Pumas, it will be Jermaine Schultz, Luciano Gonzalez, Rodrigo Isgro, Gaston Raval, Matthias Azutsuk, Marcos Maneta, and Santiago Vera Feld. Then the Australians, Nathan Lawson, Henry Patterson, Tim Clements, Maurice Longbottom, Josh Turner, Dietrich Roach, and Darby Lancaster. Now, we just saw the winner of Uruguay versus Samoa. That was the Samoans. So whoever wins this game will be going on to face Samoa in the semi-finals. But this game now underway, Gaston Raval. You don't get a lot of time in between sevens matches, which is one of the most exciting things. It's just all-out fast-paced rugby all throughout the days. But Rodrigo Isgro goes off to Luciano Gonzalez, so able to retain that kickoff there, Argentina. Now Gonzalez with the big fend, trying to break his way through, but it's a good tackle. Now going off to the left-hand side, Jermaine Schultz. Across Verfeld. Argentina having all of the possession throughout the first 30 seconds of this matchup. Luciano Gonzalez breaking tackles, goes off to Jermaine Schultz. Another offload to Azad Suk. Looks like they will take this one to ground in the tackle of Henry Patterson. On to the right-hand side now. Rodrigo Isgro finds his offload to Verfeld. Wide cut-out pass to Marcos Maneta. He's dropped the ball. That's a rare mistake from the world-class winger. Going to be taken nicely by Darby Lancaster now. Going off to the right-hand side. And for Messi, says Anjaneta. And also top try scorer for Argentina, says Blues Nate. I believe Marcos Maneta certainly right up there at the moment for the overall tries this leg. Or Luciano Gonzalez might also be up there. I haven't actually seen who's that little bit further ahead. And Aussie, oi, oi, oi. There's a Luke there. So just a little bit too close to the touchline there for Nathan Lawson. Now, Argentina will have themselves the line out on the 22. Like I mentioned, a spot up against the Samoans in the next contest. They'll be kicking off at about 7:30 p.m. New Zealand time. I guess Raval for Argentina to throw the ball in. Nicely taken by Jermaine Schultz. Going to the right-hand side. Nice step coming in from Verfeld. Now Raval again with his hands back on the ball. Going to the right. Azutsuk finds the offload. Now Isgro stepping off his right. Cutting back inwards. Dietrich Roach gets him around the bootlaces, but only 15 metres out from the line now for Los Pumas. Now Marcos Maneta almost getting the offload away on his outside where they did have the overlap. Now Maneta is another carry. It's going to be knocked out of there by Luciano Gonzalez in the breakdown. Jermaine Schultz waits for that one to finish bouncing around awkwardly. Tackle made low by Lawson again. He's been busy for the Argentines throughout the early stages of the match. There is going to be an advantage now in favor of Los Pumas. One more pass on the outside. Luciano Gonzalez bulldozes his way down, scores the try, and it is going to be the first of the match for Los Pumas Sevens. And of course, it's Luciano Gonzalez. That's actually only his third in Singapore. So I assume it's not him who is the leading try scorer and try says Kerr, and Argentina will beat Australia, says Kevin, and go Australia, says Neil. And there as well. Yeah, I guess from a Samoan point of view, I know that quite a few of you guys have transferred over from that last live stream. Who would you prefer to play in the semi-finals? Australia or Argentina? I feel like Australia is probably the game out of those two that Samoa have a better chance of winning and percentage-wise. But Argentina is a side that have beaten Samoa in the past. So is that the game that you want? To be able to beat a side that has beaten you? Do let me know. What is the mindset for the semi-finals? Now it's going to be slapped back by Argentina. Brilliantly done from the Pumas to end up with the ball again. Now Raval just taking his time, trying to work out which way to go. Goes to Luciano Gonzalez on the left. Jermaine Schultz. Inside ball, Azad Suk receives it 25 metres out from the line, playing advantage for the high tackle. Verfeld. Now the bounce pass goes to Rodrigo Isgro. Inside offload to Marcos Maneta. That'll be the second try of the match now for Argentina. And that is a very quick try to get, as they weren't able to get themselves the last conversion. Go hydrate, says Junaid. So yeah, we will have to have some hydration after these live streams, won't we? My voice sounds a little bit rough from yesterday. I think I almost lost it completely, but still lurking. Just sounded a little bit raspy. And Aussie, oi, oi, oi. Says Luke there earlier on in Vamos Pumitas. Adonde lo puedo the invito. I do not speak Spanish, sadly. I know that Vamos Pumas would be go Argentina. Unfortunately, that's as far as my Spanish does go. Pumas are hungry, says Kerr, and Vamos Pumas, says Juan there. And the Pumas lead in Argentina have been outstanding, playing solid sevens right now. They're certainly one of the teams to beat. Like on the rankings wise, they are second. The overall standings, that's going to be slapped back. Now, Luciano Gonzalez, great step from him, almost breaking through the Aussie defense for a second time. Now, great step from Rodrigo Isgro. Finds the offload to Marcos Maneta. Inside ball. Lancaster was able to cut him off. Now, Schultz only 5 meters out from the line again for the Pumas. Azad Suk trying to find that gap. Big fend, jumping his way through. Another challenge. Almost dropped the ball there, but Marcos Maneta does go for the pass. It wasn't the best one. It skipped right through. Oh, that's accidental offside. So that penalty will go the way of the Australians. Gracias, says Ramiro. And Ozalo again. Just made tea. Vamos Pumas looks dangerous. Or Los Pumas looks dangerous. And going a pounce on those Kangaroos. And Aussie will win and face Samoa in the semi-go Aussie, says Vitas. And now Maurice Longbottom will have himself the opportunity to take this one either quickly or they may consider kicking downfield. No, they take the tap. Interesting choice from Australia. Maybe a little bit worried about that Argentinian set piece. Has been very dangerous in the past, definitely with those long arms of Hermaine Schultz. Now Lancaster down the wing. Marcos Maneta manages to get the ankle. Australia into Argentine territory for the first time in this half now, with 1 minute remaining on the clock. And it will be Josh Turner. Pass on the outside. Here goes Henry Patterson. He will have too much pace for Argentina to catch him. And that will be another brilliant try throughout this matchup between the two sides. And also, who do you think will win in a fight, Puma or a Kangaroo? It's a tricky one because Pumas, of course, they've got that feistiness. And they've got those claws. The Kangaroos, you ever seen like a kangaroo? Like it's got muscles on top of its muscles. So it would depend, and they've also got claws, don't they, kangaroos? So it would depend whether or not the puma could get close enough to the kangaroo, or whether the kangaroo could just kind of give it a couple swings and try and keep it away. I'm sure it's happened somewhere in the world at some point between the two sides, probably on Animal Planet or something like that. 14 seconds remaining in this one now. Everything's on Animal Planet, isn't it? It's going to be kicked off just the 10 meters. Nicely taken by Azad Suk. It was almost stolen by Australia with the slap back from Lawson. The Pumas will have the last crack of the half. Now Hermaine Schultz goes across the Gassio Ravel. They can kick this ball out. They want to accept 12 points to 7, but they certainly do not want to. Marcos Maneta back up to his feet, does a bit of a step. That was obstruction. Although I believe they're going to say play on, and Argentina will score their third try of this matchup. Are they going to check it, though? I feel like they've got to, but I don't think they will. And also, that was such an enjoyable try to watch. Says Kerr there. And Kangaroo's a kickboxer. Says Spider-Meg. And also, anyone, the Manu is ready. Says Telesia there. And go, 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 Australia. Says Neil. So he bounced back up to his feet, Maneta. And then, yeah. Like they said, very close to a shepherd. Probably quite lucky. But they've said play to the whistle. And Argentina certainly did just that. Marcos Maneta gets himself another try. The conversion. For now, 17 points to 7. I'm barely halfway through my workday. I say workday, it's rugby day. Says Kerr. Maneta in the money, says Max Power. And also go, 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 Pumas. Says Pedro there. So a nice 17 points to 7 lead. Second ranked Argentina up against the Australians, who are in 6th at the moment. They'll be looking to get as many points as they can. The winner of this game will go on to face up against Samoa. The loser of this game does go head-to-head with Uruguay. Big mistake introducing mongooses to Fiji and Hawaii, says Moose. And also, is it mongooses or mongoose? I think it's mongoose, isn't it? For a group of them. Pelomelico having an interview at the moment. I'm sure they'll probably ask him who he'd prefer to play out of these two sides, but I'm sure that it will just be anyone in this next matchup. It will be the semi-final for anyone wondering when that one is taking place. The game will be kicking off it will be 8:13 p.m. New Zealand time for when Samoa do go head-to-head with the winner of this contest. We will have a preview coming up for that match and a whole heap of other action involving it as well. How are you doing? And why is Hong Kong Sevens in the background, says Rugby Itch? It is mainly because I like the stadium. But also, we'll probably switch it over later. It's just with the stadium having the roof, I thought I'd keep this one for Hong Kong at this stage. I hope you are doing well, Rugby Itch. If you did enjoy your Hong Kong Sevens experience, maybe it's just making sure you get that little bit more of a taste of what the stadium was like. And you did see the Kiwis actually making their way all the way to the final. Now, the thing is, Fiji could be playing New Zealand in the semi-final, so that would be a massive game on that side of the draw. A rematch of the final, and might be mongoose, like deer, as both the singular and plural, says Moose there. Now, nicely taken by Argentina, still inside of their own half, but still with the 10-point lead. And giving me ideas for quiz challenge, but not today, next weekend, says Kerr there. Nice run from Hermaine Schultz. And of course, without the Sevens running all throughout next weekend, probably will have a lot more time in between matches. And as he just bet Pereira, says WMS, I knew someone would end up putting the spoiler in at some point throughout it, but it was one of those ones that Adesanya, he needed to get a win over Pereira at some stage. And nice, I had a good time at the Sevens. Hope Argentina win the Sevens, says Rugby Itch. And there as well, now going off to the right-hand side, it will be Alvarez, having his ankles taken out from underneath him. Luciano Gonzalez. Now nice pass on the left-hand side. Bounce over the top. And that is going to be now a Sadsuk running for the corner. Does get it. Joins the 100 try club for the Argentines. And good year, Daddy, says Adolfo. And also, do the Brits stand a chance against New Zealand, says Max Power? I would say, to a certain extent, yes. Because we saw what they were able to do in their game up against, who'd they play last week? Was it Fiji that they were able to take to golden point time for Great Britain? Or was it Argentina? One of the sides that they weren't supposed to be close with, they made it extremely close. It might have actually been, Fiji versus Great Britain. But Azad Suk does score his 100th try in Rocket Kiwi Lads. Who's the main rugby maestro, or main rugby maestro. His commentary is gorgeous. Come on, Los Pumas. Says Roof there as well. For all-time tries, Gomez Cora, of course, way at the top. Luciano Gonzalez sitting ahead of him at the moment, sitting on 110. And also Hermaine Schultz, they're on 89 and a good try. Fantastic, says Roof. But 5 minutes now remain. Argentina sitting 22 points to 7 up over the Aussies. Australia just haven't had anywhere near enough possession throughout this match. We saw them have one good crack with the ball in hand and they were able to score the try. But because they haven't had enough of the possession outside of that, that has been probably the big problem for them here. Now, nice run from Darby Lancaster. And straight to Alvarez. If you're Los Pumas now with 5 minutes remaining, you're thinking about what you want to do in that next stage a little bit. So you want to make sure that you're changing your subs so you don't end up with any injuries. Azad Suk, though, straight, clean steal in the breakdown. Great work from the Argentine Centurion. Now it's going to be kicked in behind. Rodrigo Isgro running as hard as he can, and he's got the try. Another one for Argentina. They move up to 27 points now, and Pumas just want it more, says Kerr. You can see the aggression in the breakdown, the intent, I guess you could say as well. Maybe if New Zealand are ill-disciplined and the ref doesn't take their BS, then the Brits might stand a chance, says Moose. Yeah, I think Great Britain have been doing a lot better in the last couple of leagues than a lot of people give them credit for. Argentina, says Adolfo down, Vamos, says Max Power. Now only going to be about 3.5 minutes remaining by the time this kick does go over. And it's a brilliant kick as well. Gonzalez gets it down the middle. Now Argentina sitting with a 29 points to 7 lead. Have you ever seen a kangaroo jumping? It's beautiful. Pumas on the hunt. Try line looks like some fresh chicken, says a Roof there. Now, Halandini does kick it just the 10 meters. Trying to slap that one back was Alvarez, but instead Darby Lancaster cleans it up for the Australians. Now with their first real possession of the second half. Dietrich Roach going across now. Matthew Gonzalez going on the outside here. or on the inside, Sargent. Instead, going to be tackled well. Gonzalez going off to the left-hand side. Dietrich Roach, wide skip pass out to Lancaster, who has been one of the standouts for the Australians throughout the last couple of legs. Bit of a fumble there out wide. I believe it was Dally Bird. And Argentina may be the team to beat. Top dog tag, says Luke. Now Australia breaking off. Matt Gonzalez gets through. And that will be the try for the Australians. Now, I don't think there's enough time left on the clock for them to be able to get completely back into this contest. But 2.5 minutes remaining. They can still get themselves maybe 1 or 2 more. Argentina look like a complete package. Good teamwork and like couples camping. It's effing intense, says Kerr. Very good. I had the shortened version of that, which was always, it's intense camping. But I didn't have that part. That's quite a good one. Kerr, that one's missed for the Australians, so that will remain at 29 points to 12. I like how I lean to try and see, even though it's still on the same monitor. So it doesn't really change anything depending on the angle that I'm at for the amount of view that I have. Now going off to the left here for Luciano Gonzalez. Gives it off to Rodrigo Isgro. 2 minutes remaining now on the clock for Los Pumas. As it took wrestled down. Good turnover in the breakdown from the Australians. Lawson gets it. Now they're going to give it one more crack here, the Australians. 90 seconds remaining. Good tackle made on Dally Bird. What's the difference between a kangaroo and a wallaby, Hamish? Says Spider-Man. So normally, there are a few differences. One of the main ones, I guess, is probably the size in terms of the fact that a wallaby only gets to maybe about a quarter or a fifth of the size that a kangaroo does get to. That one is going to be going forward. The grubber, Palandini picks it up for Los Pumas. 5 meters out from the line now. Looking both ways, trying to decide where to go. Raziano using up a little bit more time on the clock as well. Very strategic. Wallabies are usually smaller, says Mus. And there's Kia ora, Hamish. I'm just wondering, where is Fiji? They are going to be playing up against France in the very next game, if that is what you mean. You haven't improved the pronunciation of those Argentine last names, says Max Power. Now, Luciano Gonzalez, that's an illegal clean-out play in the halfback. And Argentina get themselves the penalty. Yeah, the sizes, Wally is shorter than Joe the Ruse. And Wallaby is a small kangaroo, says Ruth. Oh, there's a little bit of an injury here for Rodrigo Isgro. Hopefully, he is going to be all right. And speaking of all right, Luciano Gonzalez does not look good here. Some sort of knee injury. Google Maps is your friend. Want to see where Fiji is, says Moose. And Max Power, thanks. A great Amish Diego Fiji, says Vinny in there. But yeah, they are going to have their next game up against the French. And then also New Zealand, they will be playing Great Britain in their next game of the Singapore Sevens. We'll quickly go like this and quickly check. Next game is going to be France-Fiji at 5:02. So that is in about 2 minutes' time. That one will be taking place, and then that will confirm who is playing up against either New Zealand or Great Britain, which is on the other side of the draw. It seems like clock is still ticking down a little bit more for Argentina. And like they've said, Argentina, they have a tough time catching New Zealand for the title, but they can still finish second and well and truly secure that spot. And don't mess with the Kangaroos. They can do Thai boxing. There's no, Kangaroos, they've got good fighting skills, but they've also got claws, don't they? To a certain extent. I like the tails. There's Moose. Now Pumas to throw this ball in. Once this line out happens, I assume Argentina will get this ball straight into touch. You do not want to risk any more injuries, although it looks like Gonzalez was able to continue this match. Just as a bit of a feather in the cap of the strength that that man has. Argentina get it. They will kick this ball into touch, and they'll be moving through to the next stage, going head-to-head up against Samoa. But I do thank you all very much for tuning in. Our next live stream, we are transferring over to it right now, ladies and gentlemen. So we'll see you all for Fiji versus France.